Serena Star Oracle deck. So I just mentioned it on one of the other readings I did for Libra just a short while ago, and I also did a review on this particular deck. Love it. Anyway, I just wanted to say I did actually inadvertently have an issue with my last deck from Sharina Star, which water had spilled on the cards, and then I went looking for went looking for the same deck and realized that it was no longer in print. However, I want you to know that these cards are very collectible, and that particular deck was actually on sale or on I think it was Amazon or eBay or whatever, and it was on there for about almost $400. So I just want everybody to know these decks should be cherished. Right? Learn from my mistakes, because that deck is now worth a lot of money. And again, a lot of these are going to be out of print at some point. So this is similar to that original deck. The cardstock is a little, well, pretty much about the same, but it is a smaller version of it and certainly has different borders, coloring, that kind of thing. But it also has a slightly different rendering of the image. So it's not quite as bold, or it's just a little bit different to me. Anyway, and the original deck, of course, did have images that were a little further back, whereas these ones are much more close up. Anyway, we'll get right into your reading. I just wanted you to all know that for those of you that do the tarot, that these cards have some value. Okay, so first off, what I'm going to say here, and I will do some tarot readings as well for you, and I have some other new decks for you, Gemini. But what I will say here is right off the bat, I see that there's some very positive cards here. You are going to have to be patient for some of the outcomes, but I would say overall, you are looking at some really good transformative cards in the month of April. So the card of the world, and of course I'll read the clarifiers following that, but I want to start out with the card of the world. So the card of the world is just about being open to new possibilities in all areas of your life. It's a very broad card. So it does indicate that there is some kind of a completion to an aspect of your life, that you are finishing up and you're about to move into a new cycle in some aspect of your life. It doesn't necessarily have to be everything, but it usually does indicate some kind of a major turnaround of events. The fact is that I see a lot of love cards here, and I'm not saying love necessarily has to be in around romance, but it's pure love in its essence of, all your relationships. So cumulatively, friendships and anything that you previously weren't very close to, I would say this is a time for you to really feel that love, that bond, that connection. There's more of an embracing energy here in the month of April. So just know that you're moving into a major life cycle change because you're ready for the next level here, and it seems to be about stronger connections. You're wiser for whatever you've gone through now, and there's a certain level of confidence that's coming through. So again, some of you might be considering travel, but at this time I feel like it would just be more in more in line with the thought of it, not necessarily enacted, because I don't see cards of that nature that support it. But either way, the world is your oyster is basically what's coming through. So again, either way, there's some sense of broadening your horizons with that card, or living your life, or or about to live your life in a more broader aspect. Could be dealing with things on more of an international basis. There could be people that are at a distance from you as well that are going to be more connected in this month. But either way, there's something here about living at a distance, or someone is living at a distance. Again, this could be friendships, doesn't have to be relationships and love, but either way, it just feels like there's a lot more opening up to you that's very positive in terms of your connections. There could be sort of a networking energy here as well, because there's a lot of energy here about feeling closer to people in the month of April. So there's also something here, and that's kind of uplifting in itself. But if you had health concerns, anything like that, this is sort of that card of overall better health, but also to keep up on the things, obviously, to continue your healing. So if we were to break it down, again, that was personal relationships for some of you, but also in terms of the career, money aspect of things, this is still about investments and property, things going in your direction. So there's more of an increase in your finances in some way, but it's also telling you that there's more of, for others of you, it's more of a sense of branch out in your businesses or in your realm of interest, because it will be more favorable for you to do that at this time. So again, you're all on different timelines. You're not all making decisions on a Saturday. So just know that some of you, this energy might play out a little further. Some of you have a lot more access to certain things, or might be going through something that's kind of residual energy in the month of April, even though the energy is surrounding you that's supportive of wrapping up a cycle and better health. Just know that, again, if there was a health issue, some of you will just have to go through that first before you kind of open up into this new positive connections with, you know, people and whatever. Rewards for past efforts are also kind of relevant here also. So either way, there's some kind of good fortune that will be coming into your life here as well, but a lot of positive energy either way. The Dragonfly is the card that is supporting that. So it is the one that is the clarifier. So that does indicate that there is something here that speaks to having a lot more confidence during this time here. And it's a time of renewing your body, renewing your spirit, renewing your joys. So it's going to bring things in a little bit closer to you on an intuitive basis so that you actually receive messages that are more uplifting and you see things in more of a beautiful way. So I feel like you are going to become a lot more, there's a lot more notoriety, or more electric is what the card indicates in terms of your own energy. So I feel like that's going to allow for you to see that you have a broader reach in something that you were dealing with. So just either way, it does speak to good news that's going to be concerning a relationship, or you're finding that you're reaching an innermost, you know, heart's desire, a victory of some sort, but there's some reward for something that you previously sort of put in motion. It's happening in the month of April. Again, and it could be newfound faith for some of you, but because I say the World card, it's almost like a number of things that are helping to move things ahead for you. Like, because you're getting rid of any old cycle here with that World card. And again, especially with the Dragonfly, there's a lot more confidence, and it's a renewing energy as well that follows it. So you feel somehow renewed. You will be feeling different overall, even in terms of physicality, I would say, in this month. I feel like you are also, in terms of career and money, I feel like there's constant change to make things happen in this month. So I feel like you've got a newfound strength. You're feeling better about yourself. There's more confidence about something because you've been adapting to your situations. And because you have been able to, you know, adapt, because you are, that's what the dragon fly does speak to. It also speaks to knowing when to pull back, take breaks, and kind of give yourself that sense of peace. So there's exciting times ahead that are kind of connected with this card, and it's being more connected to you as well because you're much more confident. Okay, so the card of the Cracker, and of course this one is definitely very dynamic energy. It's also pulling energy towards you, so it's positive energy is surrounding you at this time. Good fortune in specifically celebrations, which is the clarifier. So it does feel like there's some kind of a celebration that you will be exposed to or somehow around in the month of April. I feel like you're just feeling a lot more lively, you know, like you've got more energy here. There's more of kind of, you're on fire. There's a lot more just renewal, you know, maybe social gatherings, that kind of thing, as I mentioned here. But there's just plenty of action. There's a lot going on here, I would say, because you feel more revitalized. So it's like something is now starting to open up to you in the month of April. In terms of relationships, again, even that is either, for some of you, it's attracting more admirers. For others of you, it's just you've got this really positive, uplifting vibe. It's drawing people to you. You're kind of, you know, expressing yourself in more of an inviting way. And again, for others, there could be a new relationship on the horizon here as well. But there is also a note of be careful not to overindulge in this period. Just because there is some sense of, like with the celebrations, all of that. But even in terms of your career and your money, just know there's much more enthusiasm. There's a lot going on here that speaks to things rising either way in a positive direction, mostly about renewal energy and feeling better about yourself physically. I feel like, you know, even in terms of like even in terms with the other cards, it feels like there's a lot connected to your relationships, very much so. because even though when we get into the card of celebrations here as well, I mean, that still speaks to sort of the same idea. You know, there is some kind of connectedness here as well. And there's new things that are going to be coming into your life that are exciting to you. And so I just feel like you're on that precipice of about to, you know, undergo some kind of radical change here. Because there is a path to success that's kind of up ahead. So even in terms of your personal relationships, which seem to be strongly highlighted here, if you had some frustrations in your life at some point here, which could have been in around your relationships or your connections, just know that the time is now for a lot of that to start to transfer into more positive energy. So there's more mutual understanding, more reunions, more of a cycle of lucky encounters, basically. So even in terms of career and money, and again, I would still say, sorry guys, with that, I feel like there's kind of a boost to your self-esteem as well. The card of celebrations does indicate that, and there could be a little bit of gain or extra money as well coming in during this period. But either way, I feel like you're just more confident and something is moving in a fruitful way. So congratulations. There's a lot of positivity, and I feel like you're getting positive reinforcement for the things that the energy, the things that you're putting out. Okay, so moving into the card of love. Now, the card of love, again, doesn't have to be in around it can be a specific relationship that's of a friendship nature or someone that's very uniquely tied to you or a very intense relationship. But either way, that's moving forward. So I feel like you've got a lot of loving connections here just because of that feel overall from the other cards here. So there's major changes that are going to affect your relationships. And I would say major steps forward in a positive way. So it's more of a fresh, a newness. It's some kind of even in terms of your business connections, it could be for some of you on that front as well. But either way, you're communicating better, and there's definitely more of a positive, dynamic sort of feel about you. So I feel like overall, you're attracting things to you, even in terms of could be soulmate, could be just overall relationships, like I said. But I just feel like you're much more dynamic and more exuberant in the way that you're presenting yourself. So there could be more invitations coming in a little bit faster here, or again, some kind of social event that's coming in. So family reunion or otherwise, or a get together. Either way, there's a lot more attraction. Your aura is attraction for this period. A lot more peace and harmony on the work front or the home front or around your relationships period. But I just feel overall there's just something here that speaks to enhancing all of those connections. And there's also the clarifier to the love card, which is all about patience. So there is something around those relationships, I would say, that is still further out because it wants you to slow down and really enjoy those connections. It's also clearing your mind, getting your attitude right, and starting to learn some patience. So there's something here about not being impatient with family members or other people or your relationships. Recognize that, if you're more patient with them, you'll be able to actually focus on things paying off for you, because those connections are the things that help to support you, more fully in this period, and sort of it's a teachable skill, so it's something that you might need to draw a little more knowledge on. If you are not quite in that space, it's patience, learning to be patient. And so because of that, again, just overall, patience is a mental skill and it can be learned. But this is definitely something that you need to be aware of in this month. Slow down your thoughts, deep breaths, think more positively, because it is going to be affecting your relationships if you do or don't implement a level of patience. So there were two other cards I pulled, and again, it's kind of a repeat on the love front. So it doesn't have to be lovers or love. It can be just a very passionate or strong connection to you that seems to be very relevant. So, sorry guys, just trying to bring it into focus a little better. But either way, the Lover's card, there's two paths ahead. So it's also a card of a decision that you need to make in this month. So I would say overall, whatever decision that you do make should be one that helps you to grow. It does seem to be, something that has to be true to yourself and oh, and hi, Shooting Star. Well, yeah, I guess it is a free reading because it's, yeah. I just do it, go as I go. But I did want to say that there's a major life choice for sure, because we've got the World card finishing up a cycle here, and I appreciate you following, by the way. But yeah, there's definitely something in around your relationships where it's very important to make the right, to take action on a path that's going to be growing and that's going to be more positive, because you're going to start to see that if it falls in line with your belief systems and all of that, just know that that's the choice that you want to be able to move into, because you'll reap an opportunity out of it, you know? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, go ahead, add a question. I'll answer as I kind of go through these here as well. It is more, I mean, it is more collective because it's just a general read, but for sure, if there's something I can throw in there, I will, probably with my other deck, but yeah, feel free, go ahead, Shooting Star. So I'll just kind of continue on with the Lover's card. Like I said, in terms of a relationship or a connection, doesn't have to be a passionate one, but it could be if this card presents. And with the Love card, it just feels like there's something here that feels like it's a temptation. It's very positive and supportive. So I really feel like there's more harmony in your connections at this time in April, or you're feeling more love around you. In terms of career and money, again, this is all about, finding the right balance between your personal life and your work interests, that kind of thing, because the Lover's card again is still in around making a decision here. So you want to be able to balance things out. So spending your time, not neglecting your loved ones, that kind of thing is really what the card indicates. So it's good working relations, I would say, overall. But again, patience is the key, and that is the advice for you. Then we get to the card of the key. So this one, I really love this one too. And this one in particular is definitely speaking to you having an answer to something, you having some kind of epiphany, because you're going off in a new direction here now. So there is a new beginning here, an adventure that you're about to, head out on. Again, with the World card, there's a finishing up of the old cycle, and it's successfully been integrated. So you're not trapped, you're not in any dead-end relationship. All of this speaks to everything starting to right itself. So you're closing the old doors of negativity, and you're starting to think fresh, and even the people around you are more fruitful, and they're more, supportive and more connecting. Sorry, just reading your question there, Shooting Star. You want to know who is next in your love life and when he's coming. Will the relation turn into marriage commitment later on? Okay, I will see what I can do with that one on the tarot. But we'll just finish up with the oracle because I'm almost done. Career, money, again with the key card, does speak to feeling restless in a period of your life here, and not feeling that there was, feeling like you were in a bit of a dead end. Something wasn't really growing in the way that you wanted it to, but this is where you can actually step out of your comfort zone and realize that things are starting to happen, because you now have the key to success in your life. And so this is where you are actually starting to love what you do, and really starting to enjoy the people that you're spending your time with. And it's also, making the necessary moves to kind of let things start to flow. So this is that card that sort of indicates or reminds you to set your goals, but check in often to make sure that you're making progress. Okay, so I'm going to pull the other cards here just to sort of help out here on Shooting Star's question. So we'll see what I can find in terms of a connection. All right, so let's just do the tarot. Will there be a new love connection coming in for Gemini? Now, just remember, all of you, it's going to speak to you a little differently. You're all on different timelines. I got, first off, just to let you know, I got the card of patience and wait. So I would say it's not going to happen in the month of April, as far as a new connection coming in, but that might be something further out into May. But something is kind of growing or expanding for others of you, but it feels like it's in that domain of, for most of you, just to wait, be patient. And let's just see, will it be a relationship that will turn into a long-term commitment? Will it be a relationship that turns into a long-term commitment for Shooting Star? It's almost like there's something you have to shift before that happens. Okay, let's see what else here. Not really seeing anything on that front just yet. There is something here. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. There is something here that you have. Once you shift something, then there's going to be some kind of, and I'll just check the bottom card here as well. Yeah, like you're in a space of sort of finishing up something. So it's almost like whatever the new start is in terms of a relationship with that Ace of Pentacles, it's going to be more in the practical sense. So I would say this is, I'll just look at your question here in 2 seconds here. But with the Ace of Pentacles, that tells me it's not like big love interest and sort of falling head over heels in love. It's not that kind of interest. To me, it's more on the practical. So maybe this is somebody that you meet at work, or maybe this is somebody that, you know, is kind of around you in terms of like I would still, it's almost feeling like I said, it's not something that you're head over heels with, but whatever the combination or the connection, the partnership is between the two of you, it does seem to be lucrative, meaning there's some kind of like good financial connection there. I would say that this is still in around, you know, trying to, it could be that you're trying to shift an existing relationship here as well. Because the fact of the Ace of Pentacles is that it's something that you're developing, right? It's something, but it's still on some kind of financial front. But again, it's more of a new beginning, but in sort of a practical way. So it's not somebody that's coming in saying, oh, you know, I've really missed you and there's a lot of love here and I need to, you know, romance you. But it does feel like it's a practical connection. So it's like we've got a business interest, or we've got some things going on here that, you know, could still be built, something that could be worked with. So I would say it's something along that line. Sorry, just reading your question there. Well, I guess I could pull another card and just see if this is somebody from the past, but right now it's almost like you have to just kind of wait it out and be patient, because the card sort of, to me, still indicates that, you know, whatever the benefits are, there's a material benefit that goes with this connection. And it does feel like, you know, either that or you're discovering new ways to, you know, develop that material aspect of things. Could be going into business together or whatever. But let's just see. I'm going to pull another card here and just see what comes out. But I still have a sense that you're going to have to wait. Well, just even on the bottom, the card of abundance is there too. So, I mean, there is something that could be, you know, again, leading to a lot of financial gain here with this person. But there's definitely more of a feeling of, you know, somebody gives you a call and it's more of a check-in sort of feeling. It's not one of, you know, let's make huge passionate, you know, moves here, or, you know, go out on the town or anything like that. It's more suggestive of, you know, let's sit down and talk or have coffee, that kind of feel. Okay, so let me see what your question was there. Is this somebody new or somebody from the past? Well, it didn't really tell me if there's somebody new, or actually it could be from the past. Let me just check in again. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is present here with that Queen of Wands energy, dynamic sort of feeling kind of energy. Somebody who is quite magnanimous, and let's see, I don't know if that's you or the other person, but is, or somebody in high profile, but kind of a softer energy though with the Queens. Kings to me are a lot more dominant. Is this person for shooting star someone that is from the past? Oh, sorry guys, it just flew out. Okay, we got the card of the Lovers. I kind of get the feeling this is somebody from the past. Oh, but it was a feeling of either there were issues around money or insecurity. Sorry, I'm trying to grab the other cards here. I don't know if I can reach them. So there could have been some levels of insecurity going on there. Okay, well, the other ones that sort of fell out were just sort of, yeah, I don't know that I'm going to take all of them. There are too many. But it did look like there was a lot of, somebody wasn't making time for you, or there was a lot of bouncing around. You know, somebody had too much going on, because I do have the Two of Pentacles. Sorry to keep moving around on you guys. We did have a tower moment, so there might have been something that was really impactful that really change things. Might have been a third party situation here for some of you. But I just feel like with the World card, it's almost like it may have been quite a distance in the past. But like I said, it feels like there's some history there. So again, I would say that there is a lot of hurt that kind of goes with this one, maybe. Like I said, because I'm seeing so many cards that kind of speak to there's a new beginning of some sort. But again, I mean, it's just a very small token either way. And the fact that we are at the 9 of Wands, and that means you're almost finishing up a cycle. So, and yeah, that could be where the distance is there. Sorry, I was just reading your card there, Shooting Star. Yeah, because the World card would be that distance. That could be somebody that is either travels quite a bit or there is distance. But the fact that we have the 9 of Wands here does indicate to me that this is almost like it's either just about finished or you just have to push through a little longer. Because, I mean, energy is always changing. So it's hard to say what somebody will predict or what they will do when something like this happens, right? Because there's a lot of history there that seems to involve some pain. Sorry, reading your question. Do you see this as soul connection? The fact that I saw the Lover's card come out there, I mean, I would say there's probably a good chance that that is something that it's certainly one that is significant. Looks like there's a decision around it yet, though. Okay, I'll just do the one there. I'll look, but might have been a young person. Might have been somebody who was verbally is harsh with the words. Okay, is this person somebody who's more of a soul connection for Shooting Star? Is this somebody that was more of a soul connection to Shooting Star? But yeah, this, again, the distance card there as well that's showing up. So this person is at a distance. So let's see, was this a person that was more of a soul connection for Shooting Star? Ugh. A lot of deception around it. It was a long-term commitment. It was somebody that, water sign, probably prevalent. Yeah, water sign. I do feel like there's going to be an offer. They're going to come forward with a small little token of some sort. Might be something around business offer or finance or something like that in the practical. But again, there's a little bit of a warm emotion coming through here. A lot of anxiety over this person. There's a new start. So for sure, there's going to be some kind of new start. I would say it probably will be something like, hey, do you want to go for coffee or do you want to do something small, whatever first? And then it'll kind of build into something that's a little more physical. But there's still a lot of, probably on your behalf, if this is, you know, you were the one that was hurt, but there's a lot of anxiety around it. And you've got 2 9s. So that means this is either going to finish up entirely or there's going to be a whole new start altogether. But it does look like there's some pain involved and there's definitely some mischievous going. Like, I don't know that you can trust this person entirely. There's something still coming through that there is still some kind of deception around the connection. Like I said, I mean, there is still, this person looks like they're going to come back in some small way, because there is going to be some kind of a little bit of a passionate start here again. It'll be starting with a little token of, hey, do you want to do the coffee thing or whatever? Like I said, so it's unique to you. But then it'll kind of turn into something more romantic. But again, something isn't quite fully worked through on that. I would take your time with that because we did have the card of, you know, holding it out a little bit. You know, I would say make this person sort of prove themselves to you a little bit, just because, I mean, it's not, you know, my advice. I shouldn't really give you advice. It's your choice. You do whatever you want to do. But I definitely feel like, you know, this is something that was definitely a long-term commitment, somebody that was pretty significant to you in your world. You've got 2 9s out here. So it's almost like there's a lot of anger and hurt still to cess through. So take the time to heal a little bit before you kind of jump right in. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. But hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight. So thank you for watching, guys, but I'm going to wrap this one up. So keep moving forward. Never give up. And thank you again, Shooting Star. Any guidance for you in the relationship? Okay, maybe I'll do one more. Should I move on for real or stay again this time? Actually, you know, just given the cards that I saw out here, I mean, I'm not saying everything with that relationship looks like it is a, you know, a complete waste of time, because to be frank, it does look like there's a lot of connections there. You've got the long-term connection, you got a lot of passion. It looks like there's even monetary sort of, you know, stability with that person. So to me, I feel like it's the healing that has to connect. You've got to do the healing first, because that Nine of Swords and like 2 9s out there, that there's a lot of anger still being pent up. And on top of that, you also had the card of, so again, long-term connection, but there's still some lies or deception around a long-term connection. So there's something to me that this person's not quite dealing with just yet. So you're not quite out of the woods yet, as far as what you're dealing with. So I would wait it out a little bit, because you did have the card of wait, you know, pause for a minute and sort of wait and see what manifests, like what actually, if something else becomes revealed. And it, I mean, usually when I see the Ace of Swords, that's reveal for you. But right now I just saw the Tower, the Three of Cups, meaning kind of third party, all of that. And there's still a lot of hurt and insecurity that you're kind of dealing with. So jumping back into that might be a little bit, might worsen the situation. Until take it incrementally, right? Your call on that. You know your situation best, but there is still something workable. It's just that I wouldn't say this person is being fully upfront with you just yet. But anyway, take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next read.